Good morning. This is Pastor Everett Bell of Bethel AME Church in Monrovia, better known as Bethel Monrovia. God bless you today. You know, there are times when we try to seek the face of the Lord, try to follow the Lord, and things just don't work out the way we expect. And we fall into this place that we have no real desire to give the Lord praise. We get to the point that there's nothing that we're thankful for. And it's understandable. There are times when we feel like, well, God is not listening and maybe He's abandoned us. But I want to remind you that God is always listening. In an interesting story in 1 Samuel, David is on the run from Saul. And Saul has been trying to kill him. And David doesn't understand why, because David constantly does things that are to Saul's benefit as opposed to his detriment. And yet, he finds himself in a situation where he's always on the run. And in this particular case, David has been on the run so long, he's decided to leave Jerusalem and go into the Philistine territory. And he presents himself as one of the warriors. And when he comes in front of the leaders of the nation, out of fear, he starts to pretend like he's crazy. He starts to drool, he starts to scratch on the wood post and all those things. And instead of him being killed, the leaders just had him removed, expelled him. And David comes to a place and he says in his mind, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall be continually in my mouth, even though he was on the run and things weren't going well for him. Suddenly, things began to turn around. And this is what I want to say to you. Trust God even when it doesn't seem like God is listening. Trust God, even though things are going terribly. There are moments, if you think long enough and hard enough, that you can find that God has brought you out of something. If God is just giving you new breath, if God is just giving you strength in your limbs, be thankful, because the beginning of thanksgiving leads to change in our lives. Amen. Let me say that again. The beginning of Thanksgiving leads to change in our lives. And so when we begin to become thankful, we then identify other reasons to be thankful. And then we begin to trust God based on the things He's done for us in the past. And when we reflect on what God has done for us in the past, it informs our future that we can trust Him to bring us through whatever it is that we find ourselves in. So trust God today. Bless His name today. And allow God to move mountains out of your way. Be encouraged today.